This is the upstairs game room, common area. This lock. This is an attic. This is the lower attic. Okay. The next video will be the upper attic. This is the fireplace flue. And the insulation around it, I cannot see the fire blocking plate. And I'm not going to travel without a walkway, and I'm not going to move people's insulation. So it's just not going to be visible. Here we've got about 13 inches. I thought I saw 15 somewhere. About 13 inches of attic insulation. And we have our soffit baffles. But what we've got here is a passive box vent instead of a ridge vent. So we've got mixed ventilation systems. And you can't really put, by the way, there isn't a ridge over here to put a ridge vent. So I don't know how that application is going to be interpreted. An interesting thing about code is that there's two things about code while I'm in the attic burning up. But might as well talk about it now, since this is probably the first time that you're going to see it. Is that the first page of the code book, the jurisdiction having authority, can supersede code. Now, if he makes a bunch of bad calls, if that code inspector makes a bunch of bad calls, they're probably not going to keep their job. And if you have a problem with the code inspector, you can always go to his superior and up and up and up. And eventually you can't fight City Hall, but you can. Another thing about code that supersedes code, and code that is it's a reoccurring theme throughout code, they rely on it repeatedly, is the manufacturer's installation instructions. So if this fireplace, for example, we'll have this conversation again, but if this fireplace, manufacturer says it's okay to put insulation around the fire blocking plate and next to the flue like that, that would supersede code. I doubt that's the case in this particular instance. It'll be more along the lines of the fireplace in the living space not having a hearth, but I'm getting ahead. But I'm just looking around. Oh, insulation's not required over here because that's your garage. That's not living space. This is all structural sheathing. It serves two purposes. One, it holds insulation next to your walls. That's a good thing. Two, it actually has some structural integrity. And it adds shear force to your structure if it ever should be impacted by something like a tornado, thanks to this cardboard, believe it or not. But it's pretty darn strong, and it's pretty, and it covers a big area. And so by volume, it adds quite a bit of shear strength to your structure. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.